That's kind of nuts that I thought that I could be a professional triathlete. So you're from Maine.
I am.
Your parents are both attorneys. How
Yep.
do you feel like your kind of childhood and family life has shaped where you are now?
I wouldn't say that my family was highly emotional. I wouldn't say there was like a high performance expectation, but there was an expectation that you always go out and do your best. And if you fall down and you hurt yourself or things don't go well, you don't cry about it. You don't feel bad for yourself. You just pick yourself up and you keep going and you figure out how to do better next time. And so I think that that has pretty much come into play my entire life, whether it was in my former professional life as an investment banker to what I'm doing now as a triathlete. I don't think that if things don't go my way, I certainly am disappointed. I think that everybody gets disappointed when things don't go as to plan, but I think I do a good job of being pretty resilient and relatively stable in my emotions and am able to just sort of like pick myself up and keep going and try to be better the next time. Do you feel like your parents were supportive of you becoming a professional runner and then going into triathlon? Because I know for me, actually, I didn't have that much support when I was initially going into triathlon. I had a really good job, was making good money, and my parents and actually everybody around me were like, "Are you crazy? This is just going to be so hard. What if you get injured? You just don't know what's going to happen." Like, did you have any of that from your parents when you said you wanted to run professionally and then actually go into triathlon, or were they pretty all in with you and supportive of it?
A lot of it was my husband just saying, I think that you have a shot to do something cool here. I am going to work 3 jobs and you're just going to focus on your running for 6 months and we're going to see
Mm.
what happens. I won my first national title a few months later and I made like 12 and a half grand, which seemed like a really, really big deal at, at that time. And I
Well, when
think
you're not
once
making any money and you suddenly make 12 and a half grand, you're like,
right, you're like, I'm
whoa.
rich. I'm rich.
Yeah.
So I think that I quickly proved that I was serious and this could be a legitimate pursuit. I was a little bit, to be honest, I was a little bit lost, and I definitely didn't know what I was doing. And looking back, I'm like, ooh, but they're
Isn't it
definitely
funny though
really,
when you're naive and you look back and you're
yeah.
like, wow, I can't believe I thought that. But I guess that's how we all get started, right? It's funny that you say that because I actually have found that at the times in my career where I've allowed myself to sort of like almost feel like, okay, I've sort of made it or I'm sort of there. It's actually the times when I think I've done the worst. And that's the times when I've taken this kind of like what you said, this beginner mindset or just the willingness to be really humble and know that you still have so much to learn and gain. And there are people that are all around you who are better than you in so many different ways and different disciplines. And you just continue to strive towards this better version of yourself. I think it sets you up for success in a much greater capacity.
Like no matter how bad things are or how dire they may seem, one good race can change everything.
It does. It does. That's it. It's important to keep perspective and understand that it really is about the journey and the process, not just about the outcome. But we are all striving for that, like, one race.